Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. And the brother Yahshua, I'm back with the World War III Daily Update. The first one of this week. This is Monday the 4th. And we're going to keep this one short and just go over some of the headlines. Let's start right here with, we'll get Joel. And we're going to stay on Joel too, because Joel explains a whole lot. Joel 3. I'm going to go right here. Okay, so this heading here says, the Lord, meaning Yahweh, Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, which means God in the name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Most High's name is Yahweh, judges the nations. Okay? So here's what God is doing at this moment. I will also gather all nations and will bring them in down. Now let's read that quick. Rolled into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All nations, the armies of the world, the armies of all the nations of the world. And this valley of Jehoshaphat represents the Middle East. Okay? Why is God doing that? There will I judge them. He's going to how's he going to judge them? He's going to destroy them. Why? For harming my people, my special possession, my people Israel. That's why he's doing it. And I will enter into judgment with them there on behalf of my people and my heritage, Israel. Now, when I say Israel, I'm talking about the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, not the Jews that you think you know of. Okay, because the Jews are one of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In this case, the Israelites refer to the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the Native Indians of this land over here. Okay, and the dispersed of Israel that are scattered into all nations of the earth. The Israelites. Okay, why is he doing it? Because they harmed his people. We could get into that, all right, but we're going to keep it short today. All right, come back tomorrow and I'll break that all the way down. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Deep Journal channel, all right, where they got this news of the wars that are going on. All right, this is talking about World War III. When we're talking about Joel 3 and 2, I will gather the armies of the world in the valley of Jehoshaphat over in the Middle East. This is World War III we're speaking of. Okay? Now we'll go to Deep Journal and we'll watch World War III in action. All right? 2 days ago. All right? And the headline reads, Breaking, Iran, who is Persia, announces Israeli war has begun. Okay, these Israelis, okay? It says clashes started at the border. Big shock to U.S. If this, let's watch a little of this. Okay, well, let's read a couple first. Iran announces Israeli war has begun. Not between Hezbollah and Hamas, who Iran feeds and gives ammunitions to, but Iran proper. Okay, breaking, Iran shoots down 3 Israeli drones. Breaking, this is 16 hours. This is one day, 16 hours. Iran shoots down an Israeli drone in Azerbaijan. Iranian aircraft crosses the border. So this is World War III, proper. Everybody knows if somebody's over there messing around with the Israelis, then America and the UK are coming to the rescue, are they not? Which means world war. If somebody's messing with Iran, Russia and China are coming to help. World war. How about this? Breaking, this is 5 hours ago, 38 Chinese warplanes attacked Taiwan. All right? Who are the allies of the Chinese? The North Koreans, all right? The Russians, the Iranians. So you see World War III being fought on different fronts because according to the United States, Taiwan belongs to them. How? So there's war, World War III. They haven't announced it yet, and they will very soon. All right, let's look at this real quick. Not the commercial.
Been in a kind of Cold War. Although Dear listeners, welcome to the Deep Journal channel. By subscribing to our channel, you can be informed about detailed reports every time. Iran and Israel have long been in a kind of Cold War. Although both countries made mutual retaliatory moves, they clearly avoided going to war. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, has repeatedly called for the destruction of the State of Israel in his speeches. In 2018, Iran described Israel as a cancerous tumor and said that it should be expelled from the region. Israel sees Iran as a major threat and accuses it persistently of trying to develop nuclear weapons. Especially in recent weeks, this crisis has grown and the Israeli-Iranian relationship has come to the point of war. The two countries have been heavily threatening each other for the past few days. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said today that Iran has crossed all red lines with its nuclear program and that Israel will not allow Tehran to have nuclear weapons. According to Bennett, Iran is trying to dominate the Middle East under a nuclear umbrella. Bennett, who said that urgent plans should be put into action so that the nuclear threat does not grow much more, recently announced that Israel, which we shared with you as DJ, has activated its Plan B. This week, a fire broke out at a secret missile facility in Iran. It was claimed that this fire was caused by the Israeli Secret Service Mossad. In our previous video, we shared the details of the subject with you. After these allegations, Iran criticized Israel very harshly, and the Iranian foreign spokesperson said that the war between Israel and Iran had already begun. The allegations that Israel has sabotaged many Iranian nuclear facilities in recent days have been echoed in the Iranian press. The fact that these sabotages came just after Israel recently announced that it would move against Iran on its own pointed to Israel as the perpetrator of the events. The crisis in the two countries has now reached its climax, and it is expected that the first place where this crisis will break out will be Iran's Azerbaijan border. Iran may attack Israeli areas on the Azerbaijani border, where heavy military shipments have been made by Iran for 2 days. And yesterday, the first attacks took place on the Iran-Azerbaijan border. It is thought that the Iranian administrators, who openly stated that they do not want Israel in their border regions, will undertake a much larger operation together with the terrorist organizations they are affiliated with after the first attack.
Can you see this thing is spiraling out of control? Well, on a larger note, the one you know as God, right, the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, he's the one doing it. Let's read that again. God said, I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's what we see happening, all right? And nobody can stop that, all right? We see that happening. Nobody can stop it. And it's going to grow exponentially by the day until they absolutely must declare World War III, all right? And they have to do that. We got, you got the Evergrande, what is it, Everguard or Evergrande situation in China, which is going to topple the entire market. You got Babylon the Great, also known as the United States, has a October 18th deadline to pay their debt, otherwise default, which will cause catastrophic ramifications to the entire monetary system. Okay, of course, when there's a reset needed and somebody has to create a diversion, what do? They go to war. All right. So that's all we need for today. I mean, we could get into more. Let's quickly look at a couple other channels. Let's see. Let's look at Secret Files, which I love. Videos. Let's see what's going on. UK sends Royal Navy ship into South China Sea. Okay, into that region. That's a different front of World War III. Turkey. Look at the different names. UK, China, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Iran, Afghanistan. Okay. Putin. That's Russia, Turkey, Pangaea. That's in Afghanistan. Chinese. Okay, Israel, Israeli, Azerbaijan. This is 2 days ago. Tajikistan. All right. Letting you know that this is a world war. All right. They're saying that China is going to go to war with what's that? The Aussie, Australia. Now that they have those nuclear subs. Okay. And this is just quickly scanning the headlines. Let's look at a carrier pigeon real quick. 23. China carried out biggest attack on Taiwan. That's confirming. That's huge. Basically, they're saying China carried out attack on the U.S. All right, 1 day ago. Iran-Israel war has begun. A little confirmation there. All right. And we all know what's going on in Afghanistan since the U.S. left. All right. Let's carry a pigeon. Okay. And deep journalist. Are they gone? What happened to them? Like deep journalist is gone. They weren't doing anything. Okay, so that's good. Good enough for today. All right, so hey, keep your head up. You see what's going on? It's going to have multiple ripples right here. What are those tankers carrying those storage containers doing over there in the Pacific? What is that? Is somebody going to come over there and bomb them? It looks pretty much like what happened in Pearl Harbor when America knew they had cracked the code of the Japanese when they were starving them out for oil, and they knew that the Japanese were going to attack. So what did they do? They took all their outdated, all their old warships and put them in, made them a big target so that the Japanese could come and destroy them so that the U.S. could get into the war. Is that what's going on over there in the Pacific? All they got to do is, and I mean, couldn't the Americans do that themselves and blame it on China? False flag? That's speculation, but hey, anything can happen right now. They need a war. All right? So with that, I hope that the elect were edified. Until tomorrow, this has been the World War III Daily Update. With that, we can say shalom.